There are 28 alterations of the word lonely throughout 19 tracks of King Krull's album titled The Ooze.
Let's get dusty.
The first question you may have at this point is, who is King Krull? I'm not going to introduce him to you by the usual biographical means. I'm going to do that looking at, or rather listening to, his music. King Krull's music is like his voice, uncanny. It's like nothing I've ever listened to, or even thought I'd listen to in my life. The low, bass-like vibrating vocals can suddenly morph into surprisingly tender high pitch, or even burst into wild, expressionistic screams. His style of singing is utterly difficult to pin down, to put into only one category, but it also means it's extremely original. It gives him a wide range of artistic ways to put the things in his head out, and it's a perfect match for the music he creates. Examining the way King Krull composes is tricky. There is almost no pattern to it at all. Sometimes it's the classic verse-chorus type of a song, but there are also many compositions which feel almost like beatniks stream of consciousness. The choices made in the process of songwriting may not always be coherent at the first listen, but they are always surprising and fresh and unconventional. Sometimes the listener is carried away by soft, dreamy waves of electronic sweeps and atmospheric guitar riffs that gently fade far away. But sometimes our ears are being attacked by aggressive, heavy, distorted rhythms that sound almost like punk or grunge. There are also some stylish, muted, looped beats to be found on King Krull's The Ooze, or cool jazzy choruses suddenly intruding an otherwise ambient composition. While listening to King Krull, one can either feel like an astronaut, slowly drifting in the dark void of space, or like taking a walk in a strange purgatory, where heavy rain and cloudy sky accompany regrets and inescapable labyrinth of a poisoned memory. When speaking of visuals, King Krull is full of unorthodox surprises in that field as well. The Alfred Hitchcock Presents inspired video clip of Lizard State. Bleak, neo-noir story of a private detective trying to solve the mystery of his own death in Biscuit Town. A funny 80s-style VHS clips accompanying Cadet Limbo, or perfectly executed, nocturnal, long close-up of a bruised man who turns out to be burnt alive on a stake while being watched by a couple of medieval knights in a mysterious scenery of full moon in Don't Let the Dragon Drag On. His music videos are always interesting technically, always thrilling to watch.
Big thanks to Jenny for having us today. Sense of love for the TV. I love it and I hate it.
Nevertheless, what stands out the most are the lyrics. Never failing to be little ambitious literary gems on their own, they carry with them a portrait of a character deeply emotional and deeply vulnerable, almost always on the brink of getting lost in the world he lives in. Deeply lonely. Has it been so long? since I got lost in space?" he asks in cadet limbo, only for no answers to be given, but a painful saxophone tune. "Loverboy, you drowned too quick," he quotes a thing some girl told him once in Check 1. Those are only two brief examples of how expertly King Krule manages to put the listener into a vivid scenery, only to get more and more entangled in his train of thoughts from then on. But mostly, the words King Krule uses to form sentences and then verses and choruses and then songs are words of recollection. He goes back in time to his memory and tries to make sense of it. The whole repetitive process results in him feeling only more alone and lost along the way. "Nothing is working with me," he yells in Slush Puppy. Phrases like "my empty soul" or "is anybody out there" exemplify how he starts to doubt in every single memory and emotion he thinks he had or has throughout his brief life. "So I don't trust anyone," he sings. "You're not even there," he accuses someone or something. In Midnight 01, Deep Sea Driver, we hear his most intimate thoughts, which come with the lines, "Why'd you leave me? Because of my depression." He's surrounded by all different types of contrasting things, yet ironically he's oh so lonely. It must be a torture to live in that state of mind. Maybe partially that very conflicted state of constant mystery is what's so fascinating in King Krule as an artist. He's really secretive about his creative process. During interviews, he mostly dodges answering serious questions seriously. The way he writes lyrics to his songs is a bit similar. On one hand, it's emotional to the core, with lots of metaphors and sophisticated yet comprehensible pictures painted with the use of words, and on the other hand, it never spoils the final act of the stories it tells, always magically leaving it out of the spotlight by only a few mere inches. I think that we can find a brilliant example of how King Krule weaves a song in one of the most emotional moments of The Ooze, its titular song. As the music rises in a bittersweet crescendo, he delivers these lines with his voice, raging. The universe salutes. Lucifer cries. Within heartbeats, you strum goodbye. Within heartbeats, you say goodbye. I don't know why. What is the ooze? In Oxford Learner's Dictionary you can find the following definition of the word ooze. If a thick liquid oozes from a place, or if something oozes a thick liquid, the liquid flows from the place slowly. The definition is accompanied by a few examples. Blood oozed out of the wound, or mud and slime oozed through the cracks. It's possibly the closest word you can find in terms of the title of King Krule's second LP. So, what is the ooze? To find a plausible answer to this question, you have to look no further than to the titular song of that album. We ooze, two souls, pastel blues, heightened touch from losing sight, swimming through the blue lagoon, basking in the dark of night, of depths unknown to be explored, to sing together through the sky. What is the ooze? Is it a boy and a girl by the Thames River, staring in her oozing waters, scared of what's to come yet a little bit reassured by their closeness to each other? Like two deep-sea divers who finally find one another just seconds after they hit the oozy rock bottom. Is it love? I don't know why. I searched for you. King Krule's, or rather Archie Ivan Marshall's, debut record, 6 Feet Beneath the Moon, was published on the day of his 19th birthday. The Beyoncé shared its opening track on her social media, and the Kanye West reached out to him to work together, but he declined. King Krule is the poet of and for our times. He's not going to rest in his quest for finding the truth of his brilliant mind. He never compromises and has an innate talent for asking a question, but never giving a straightforward answer. When the ooze ends, he's left with almost nothing but to gaze at the moon. Suffered tremendous losses on his way, while the only thing he's looking for is a true, genuine bond with another person. He's lonely as only King Krule can be, like a living dead. But in one of the promotional singles of his latest third album, Alone, Omen Free, you can find something new. In its lyrics, to be precise. King Krule sings it out with passion and certainty, yet steadily, more like trying to convince a friend than letting out spasms of rage. But don't forget, you're not alone. Sometimes you're stressed. Every minute, every second. You're not alone. 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 Is it the beginning of better times? A new beginning? Is it the end of King Krule's loneliness? But to find out, you'll have to listen to it yourself. The only thing I can tell you is that his latest album is titled Men Alive.
Every minute, every second, you're not alone, you're not alone, you're not alone.